I love hosting and having dinner parties, so this weekend I had some friends over for an olive-themed dinner party, and I made olive ravioli, olive focaccia bread, a marinated olive whipped ricotta dip, white cheddar stuffed fried olives, a white bean olive salad, an olive chicken dish, dirty martinis, and for dessert I made olive-shaped matcha cookies and lemon olive oil cake. I got started making my pasta dough and my ravioli filling. I thinned out the pasta dough and then started creating the olive ravioli. I used a oval shaped cookie cutter for the olive shape and then attached on a small circle pit to each of the olives. I set the table and then got started on my focaccia bread, adding a lot of olive oil, letting it rise, and then folding it over, letting it rise again, adding it to a sheet pan with more olive oil and letting it rise one more time. I then got some rosemary from my little garden bed and then added the dimples to the focaccia, oiled the rosemary, and added on some Castelvetrano olives. I gave it another little olive oil drizzle with some flaky salt and cooked that in the oven. I then started assembling the marinated olives, making some crispy shallots and garlic, and then adding in a bunch of goodies and letting the olives sit in that to get nice and flavorful. I made some skewer appetizers with pickled peppers, soppressata, and olives. And then I started stuffing the olives with white cheddar, dunked them in an egg wash and some flour, and then fried them. I would definitely add some breadcrumbs next time, but they still turned out amazing. I whipped up the ricotta and then added on the marinated olives and a little honey drizzle, and then started working on the olive and white bean salad, adding on seasoning, tomatoes and olives, some parsley, pecorino, parmigiano reggiano, and some lemon juice. I made some more olives with a little lemon zest and olive oil, and here is the final product on the appetizers. The focaccia bread turned out so yummy and was such a good bread to dip into the marinated olives and whipped ricotta. And here are the olive ravioli. I then made some dirty martinis and garnished them with some olives, of course. I then got started on our mains. I gave the chicken thighs a good sear and then added onions, tomatoes, olives, some white wine, and chicken broth. I cooked the ravioli and tossed it in some brown butter, and here is the final product for our dinner. Earlier in the day, I got started on our dessert, making the matcha cookie dough. I refrigerated that and then rolled it out and used my oval cookie cutter to cut out the olive shape, and then used the back of a teaspoon to make a little well for the jam. I baked those in the oven and then got some lemons from my lemon tree and started on the lemon olive oil cake, mixing all the wet ingredients and then the dry and adding in milk. I baked that in the oven, then dusted it with powdered sugar, and here is the final product.